Hello. To make it simpler, I'm going to attach these two models to each other. That way we'll only wind up with 2 nitrile strips instead of 3. So onto the pivot point, reset X form, convert back to editable mesh. Now we're going to use the Civilization 4 exporter to set up animation. To do that, you go to the Utilities panel, you click Mac Script, which is a default button. And here you see Civilization 4 Animation Manager. Click on it to open it. Now I'm going to unhide the scene root bone, because I'm going to use it in a minute. And you see a section called Known Actor Roots. Click the Add button, and then press H, select the scene root. Here, we're going to write forward. The name of this sequence is very important. It has to be called forward. It can be called anything you like, really, but it makes it easier to write scripts if the sequences are named the same all the time. Especially if the person who's using the model doesn't know what you've written. So if you use forward and backward, then it's pretty universal. Right, we're going to set the start frame to 0 by default. We set the end frame to 89. Next, we're going to click the button called Append New Sequence. Delete the default name and write backward. Start frame should be 90, and the end frame should be 180. Make sure the loop sequence is unticked. And that should be it. Let's hide the bone again, and we are ready to export. I'm gonna just call it test. These settings are extremely important. It's important to click extra nodes on mesh to export the animation in the correct place. Make sure you selected NIF with Manager, and add action nodes is also important. You can always leave that ticked. And that should be it. Let's export it. I've opened the model we just exported in IFScope. This is how it looks. You can see clearly that the animated part has a box primitive, while the static part has a mop shape, just like it should. You can press the play button to see that the animation works as expected, and the same is true of the backward animation. The 3D Studio Max exporter has a handful of imperfections. None of them are very serious, but they require a bit of explanation and a bit of afterwork in IFScope. One of those imperfections is that it creates a redundant scene root bone, even if you have created a scene root bone in your scene, like we did. And you'll notice this imperfection by the fact that there are 2 scene root bones in the exported NIF. To fix that, take the first scene root bone, the one that the exporter added by default, right-click on it and choose Block, Remove. Then go to the scene root bone we created, and we're going to make this the parent of all the other children in the NIF scene, in the NIF. And we do that by finding the line called None Extra Data List. double click on it, press 1 and hit return. Then go to the line just below it called extra data list. Right click on it and choose array update. Then click the plus sign to unroll it, and in the value box enter the number assigned to the BSX flags block, in this case 0. Another imperfection in the Explorer is that it interprets these BHK rigid body helpers twice. It both adds them to the NIF itself and leaves them as redundant knee nodes in the root of the NIF. So right click on them and choose block remove and block remove to get rid of them. Then go to spells, sanitize border blocks. Now we're going to unroll this block until we find the knee multi-target transform controller block. And in the block details of this block, you'll find a line that reads extra targets. Click on the plus sign to unroll it. You notice 2 vacant spots in the list. Those spots used to belong to the redundant knee nodes in the root that we just deleted. So we're going to fix this list by taking this number and putting it here, and then taking this number and putting it there. 21 and 32, and press delete to get rid of that, and it's blank as. Right, now we're going to add 2 blocks instead. The first block we're going to add is the scene root. So we write 0 and hit return. Then we're going to add the block called scene root non-action, and that has the number 20. So let's write 20. And we're done. This is all that needs to be done in IFScope. So let's save it. And it's ready to be set up as an activator in the construction set. Now, in order for it to work, you have to add a script to it that controls the animation. You can find an example script in the written tutorial on our forum. And you can find a lot of other useful information on our forum as well, so I hope you check us out. Good luck, and I hope you have fun animating.